What's up guys, it's Andrew from Motorcycles Off-Road. Okay, today I'm going to show you how to rejet a carburetor. And this carburetor is on the Bashan Brozz 250. If you want to see a review for that bike, I just did it last week. I'll put a card here and pin it below. And there's a huge advantage to having a carburetor in some cases in my opinion. Now yes, fuel injection is nice, but if you want to make any significant or major changes to your motorcycle with fuel injection, you got to hook up a computer, get an ECU, etc. And in fact, with a lot of dirt bikes, single cylinder engines in particular, carburetor work is really easy. This particular bike is set up like an old Honda. Actually, I have a CRF 150F that has a similar setup where you have 2 screws and a boot, and that's basically it. When it comes to this carburetor, it's actually like a Kian type clone, which I am super familiar with since I occasionally build and work on older KLR 250s. I've had 3 of these things. So I already have the full jet kit. But this particular carb has tamper-free screws, so if you don't want to deal with any of that, you can pick up a Mikuni VM26 and a set of jet kits to go with that carb. The 30mm VM26 will fit on this bike, but then you will also still have to rejet it anyway. I can say I'm at sea level. Here up to 2,000 or 3,000 feet, you're probably going to look for a 115 jet, and if you go higher, maybe a 110 jet. But look guys, this is really easy. I'll show you everything I'm talking about. I'll show you how easy it is. We'll go step by step. If you have this bike, you can just follow along. I personally have a general idea of what the jets should be based on my elevation, but sometimes it is trial and error. But either way, this is a very simple process. And it's a very inexpensive way to add more power. I will link the VM23, the Kian jets, and the Mikuni jets down below. But for this, what we're going to do today, you're just going to need the Kian jet kit. All you're going to need to do this job is a Phillips head screwdriver, a 10mm wrench, a flat blade screwdriver, and a pair of pliers. Now there is one part where I'm going to use a Dremel. If you don't have a Dremel, that's fine. You can still use a hacksaw. A small hacksaw can make the lines into tamper-free bolts so that we can screw them out with a flat blade screwdriver. So turn off your fuel petcock and let's get into it. Okay, you can take your fuel line off the carburetor or you can take it off the petcock. I choose to take it off the petcock because I'm not really too worried about it. It's the easier spot to take it off instead of putting my hands in there. And then when I put it back on, it's just going to be as easy to put it back on. So usually you take needle nose, but this is loose enough. You pop that out there, then just have a rag to get the extra. Simple enough. All right. Now we get our 10mm. Wonder if I can get the ratchet wrench on. Make sure the ratchet's going the right way. Oh yeah. But it's so loose, so we'll just finger take that guy off. Careful. It's probably going to want to hit the ground. And put her in a safe space. That way you don't lose it. So that side is done. Now let's move on to the other side. Okay, on to this side. Now this side, it's kind of hard to get my tripod where you can see, but you need to tape the same nut off on this side. You're going to need to unscrew the cap after that, and you got the boot here. Super easy. Okay, take that off. Put it in our little magnetic tray. Get our Phillips head screwdriver. We'll take this one screw and loosen it up here. And this will allow us to pop the carb out. Okay, take this spark plug deal out of the way here. Remember to put that back. We're going to compress the boot. Pop the carb out. Now there is going to be gas inside your carb, so keep that in mind. Pull it out here. As you see, your fuel line, your overflow drain line is here. It's your overflow drain. And we're just going to unscrew this cap. And we don't need to do anything with this. Later down the road, if we want, we can shim this needle. But for now, what we're going to do is we're going to open up this carb. Okay, so what we're dealing with is tamper-free screws here. They put these in. We're going to replace them with good screws, or we'll just reuse them. We're going to cut a line into them so we can use a flathead just to unscrew them. So that's what I'm going to be doing now. Let's get an idea if that's enough. Oh, I might want to go a little bit deeper. Just like that. Now rinse and repeat. This one. I don't know if you'll be able to see this. Let's try. But it's a 105, so we're going to change that out for a 115. Okay, so I put my little tripod on a bucket so you guys can see better. First thing we're going to do is we're going to thread this in here. Now see, this side here, if you look down inside there, this needle screw affects this side. Then you have a little nipple there. That's where that side slides through. So you just got to make sure the needle sits down in that hole. You can see a little hole there. And then just make sure this is oriented correctly. You'll feel it if it's not. Just slide that in. The needle in the hole. Got it the first time. All right. Now we're going to compress this side into the boot, and this side's going to line up with the two screw holes. Simple. I could be doing this in the shop, but I wanted to enjoy the nice weather today and just do it out here. Oop. There's an O-ring here. O-ring wanted to come loose. Don't want that. Make sure that O-ring stays in place. Okay. That one first. Press it. Should slide right into place just like that. All right, so we want this screw. Make sure that's covering the complete diaphragm. And just tighten this up. I noticed I lost a screw out of here already. I'll be replacing them anyway with some red Loctite, probably high temp stuff. I do want to paint it anyway. I don't like the silver, I want to paint it black. Alright, got that done. Now this one, remember we had this little spark plug holder here to keep the spark plug wire off the block so it doesn't melt. Good idea. Nice and snug. All we have to do now is go to the other side. We got this one and the fuel line, and then we're done. Now, as I was saying, this job's super simple. Anybody can do it. And if you had went ahead and bought the Mikuni carburetor for whatever it is, $30, VM26, you wouldn't have had to deal with all that Dremel bullshit and getting the screws out. That would have cut off a lot of your work. And then, after you get the Mikuni carburetor, the next thing you do is you got to buy Mikuni jets. So you're looking at another 15 bucks. Since I already had these jets laying around, I just wanted to do it this way. I just dropped that screw. I hate when that happens. The only thing left to do is take it for a ride. Immediately on the first ride of this bike, I noticed a complete difference. Having more fuel is more power, it climbed ditches better, just all around a more responsive, more powerful motorcycle, and because it's more rich fuel-wise, it starts easier. So if you guys are doing this project yourself, or if you have any questions, make sure you put them in the comments below, and I'll be sure to address all the ones that I see. So my name is Andrew, and this is Motorcycles Off-Road. Thanks for watching, guys.